And so let me share some highlights. Let me just cut to the chase and share some highlights. As I've mentioned before, myself and Charles Balin, who oversees our missions program here at Hope Chapel, and Glenda, who is also here. Glenda, wave your hand. Glenda also joined us on our team, and her husband's here this morning. We all went together with Wheresoever Ministries, which is run by Danny and Lindy Bravo, who attend this church. These are our very own missionaries. And they've been doing this for years. I think about 7 years. They've been over there in Mozambique, and they basically had this call. They were like, we're going to go to Africa, and let's see what happens. That was basically the plan. Well, lots happened. They show up and they visited a village that had never heard the gospel before, and back in the day, and they shared the gospel. And at that time in that village, there was one individual he was blind, and it was a miraculous healing. His eyes were open, and through that, it opened the door for the gospel to be proclaimed in that village. And Wheresoever Ministry started in that particular village and got established, and they just kept doing it. They're like, oh, okay, all these people are saved now, and we baptized them. I guess we need to start a church. And so it sort of started like that. And God raised up pastors that are indigenous to the region, their very own pastors being raised up and starting churches in villages and in towns all over that place. So we went to participate in what was already going on there. We went to, serve and preach and to teach and to be helpful however we could. But that would have gone on with or without us, because that's the kind of ministry they do all the time. And one of the most touching encounters that we had, they were all amazing, but we're driving along, and Kenneth had spotted this girl. She was on a bicycle, kind of sitting, and they were kind of pushing her along. And he just felt like we need to stop and pray for this girl. And so we walk up, and Kenneth was talking to them. Again, this is all through translator and interpreter. And so asked her, what's going on? And apparently she had she was pregnant. She was probably about 13, 14 years old, pregnant. And she just had a C-section. The baby died in her womb. They had to remove the baby. She's on a bicycle coming from God knows what kind of hospital. She's on and she just had the operation. She's on a bicycle. It's like 90 degrees outside, dirt everywhere. She's just like this, and they're pushing her along. And we're like, so where are you guys going? Well, we're not real sure. We're not. I'm like, you're not sure? What's happening? What are you guys doing? And they really didn't have a plan. They didn't have any money. They didn't know where they were going. They knew they had to take her somewhere. And so it was such an awesome moment, because I was able to pray for her. We all prayed for them. They all came to Christ. I prayed for her. I took her off very gently. I took her off the bicycle and just commanded strength and healing to her abdomen, and that she would be able to walk. And she just started to move like this, and she started moving faster. And she just looked up like, I don't feel any pain anymore. And God brought complete healing to her. In fact, when we left them, she was walking along, pushing the bike herself when we left. And it was an amazing thing. Now, I said to him, she still needs to rest. Please make sure she rests. And we also were able to give them a little bit of money because they needed that as well. But it was just an amazing encounter. That kind of thing happened every day